debate. This is going to be a fun one, folks. We are thrilled to let you know we have two experienced debaters here tonight, and it's on the good old flat earth topic. Want to let you know, though, if it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button, as we have many more debates coming up. So, for example, you'll see at the bottom right of your screen, in less than 2 weeks, Matt Dillahunty and Tom Jump will be facing off against Dr. Randall Rouser and Samuel Nassan. So it should be a really fun one on whether or not there's sufficient reason to believe in God. So with that, though, I want to let you know we're a neutral platform. In other words, we only have the debaters on in terms of we don't any sort of follow-up videos saying who won or lost. We don't ourselves make any statements. We just completely leave it up to you statements as a channel. We don't have you folks to decide who is more persuasive, and also only leave it up to the debaters in terms of making their case. So we are very excited to have you here no matter what walk of life you come from. And now let's talk about the format for tonight's debate. It's going to be Whitsitt Gets It opening it up first, and that'll be kind of a flexible 5 to 10 minute opening statement. And then Richard, depending on whether or not whether or not Vegan Gains would like to do his opening, that's up to him. He may just want to jump right into open conversation, in which case we'll go right into open conversation and then have Q&A at the end. So if you happen to have any questions, feel free to fire that question into that every single question from the live chat. And if you tag me with Modern Day Debate live chat, will be added at Modern Day Debate. I can be sure to the Q&A list. Super chat is also an option, in which case you can also make a comment during the question and answer. And of course, the speakers will get a chance to respond to it, as well as it'll push your question or comment to the top of the list for the Q&A. With that, very excited to have these guys here. I want to give a huge thanks. It's good to have you guys. It's a true pleasure. And so thank you very much, both Vegan Gains and Whitsitt Gets It. We appreciate you guys hanging out here. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for being here with us.
No problem.
Yeah, glad to be here, man.
Absolutely. So with that, I will hand it over to Whitsitt Gets It, but do want to mention one last thing before we do. That way, if you're listening, you're like, get started. In particular, both I like that. I want to hear more. These gentlemen are linked in the description so that you can hear more. That's why I put these guys' links in the description just for you. So with that, Whitsitt Gets It. The floor is all yours. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. All right, so I guess I'll just lay this out in hopes to save some time. Typically, what globe earthers do is they want to press you with some model so that they can try to figure out what's wrong with it. The issue with that is we make a general, surface claim being a descriptor of the surface being flat. We don't claim a definitive prior to formulate a definitive model, or I certainly do not, definitive model. But I don't have access to all the information required. Of course, as it is known in intellectual forum, when you make a positive claim, you have the burden of proof. Again, my only positive claim is a general descriptor of the surface of the earth being flat. The globe earth is a positive claim of specificity. It claims axial rotation, right? 1,040 miles per hour east, spinning at the equator, a circumference, a radius. It claims a orbital trajectory, heliocentrism, a plethora of very specific claims that come with the globe earth. Thus, they have the burden of proof. So simply, all globe earthers typically do is they shift the burden of proof, which is a fallacy, right? So, fallacy, and then they attack really the falsification of straw man model, which is a fact. The positive claim of the globular heliocentric earth is independent of me giving you a definitive model. And I think that will save some time. Hopefully, it usually doesn't, even with that preface. But that is not really like a debatable thing. It's just an intellectual forum. You make a positive claim of specificity, you have the burden of proof of specificity. So we're looking for proof that the Earth's a globe that's spinning, and this magic cartoon medium that defies natural law. And we have to find out. I've been looking for 5 years. It doesn't exist. Now, people don't normally think like this. They assume everyone knows the Earth's a globe. So, I just have to prove it's not flat or something. There is no empirical verifiable thing. But when you make a positive claim, you have the burden of evidence that the Earth is a globe. Literally. Simply, I've been looking for 5 years, literally. And Yeah, we have dozens and dozens of observations that demonstrate the curvature rate being falsified. So that's really the preface. You have to get into any intricacies beyond that, but just to kind of like preemptively point that out, like be on the lookout for the typical fallacious reasoning that comes from globe zealots, and that is reification fallacies, strawman fallacies, shifting the burden of proof fallacies, begging the question fallacies. And this is what we'll hear a lot, but it's typically not even intentional. But hopefully that will be a beneficial preface. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Really makes things a bit simpler. Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Now, you said that you're just making a simple... Okay, so that actual claim that the Earth is flat, you're not trying to create any kind of specific model that I can try and pick apart. Well, look, I think you do have a model for what is most likely, the shape of the Earth, how the countries are laid out. Like, you wouldn't believe that, like, let's say... there's two sides of the flat Earth, and some countries are one side and some countries are on the other side, right?
Well, sure, yeah. You just made up some random, crazy, far-fetched model. Of course, I don't adhere to that. That isn't
right. So there's only basically one real side of the flat Earth where Earth's inhabited. And do you also believe that at any instance are on, like all the major countries, any one time half of the Earth is illuminated?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and illuminated by the sun?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you do have like a basic model.
Well, I know that not the entire Earth is lit up by the sun at the same time. And
Sure.
it moves in the sky over top of us, and we have seasons in a day and night cycle. I don't claim a proportionate landmass layout. I don't claim a definitive model. I don't know the entirety of what Earth is. It's just the intellectually honest position to take. The falsification of the globe Earth is independent of me having all the answers to information that's hidden.
Okay, well, fair enough, but I mean, don't you think that immediately creates an issue where if half of the Earth's surface is illuminated, but the sun is constantly in a
Well, first of all, you just presupposed a
position where it could illuminate the
planet. And secondly, why are you assuming that?
entire planet?
What is it?
Well, you're just playing
Semantics.
word.
Why would you assume it would light up the whole Earth?
Well, because it's over top, right? So, well, I think I know where you're getting with this, where light can't travel infinitely.
It's called attenuation.
Okay, well, the problem here is if half of the Earth's surface is illuminated, then it doesn't make any sense to say that light has a finite distance it can travel, because at the middle point of the flat Earth, light will just suddenly abruptly stop, but at the end point, it'll also just suddenly abruptly stop. And share just so I can when is there? So how do I a way to like actually screen share, just so it's easier for me to get a visual?
You bet. On the bottom of your Zoom window, there's usually a green button, and it'll have
share
like
screen. Okay, cool. All right, I'll share screen here. So let me just try to get this right. So this is basically. Are you guys seeing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically the model essentially that you're supposing, right? Like
Space, not one flat earther actually thinks that.
it doesn't necessarily look.
So,
Okay, so we're not exactly like this.
we're not
but
a
I
disk
mean,
in space.
disk. What's the shape?
We're not a disk in space that's just like the next to some spherical planets, and we're just a disk in space or accelerating disk, anything like that. We're basically the basement. Like everything revolves over top of us. No one thinks for some disk out in some infinite universe. So that's the first issue. And second, I already answered this question. It's called attenuation.
Okay, well, regardless, let's say it's not a disk. You are saying the Earth is flat, and you are saying the sun is over top of the Earth, correct?
That's correct.
And it's over top of the Earth constantly, like it never dips below? Because, look, if we're going to have...
That's correct.
Okay, the cutoff point right here. So, right, then you have an issue here, because like half the Earth is illuminated at any one time. Well, the distance between here to here is shorter than the distance between the edge to the sun. So you're just making an arbitrary cutoff point. Like you're saying light can only travel a finite distance. Well, if it can only travel a finite distance, then you wouldn't have half of the Earth illuminated at any one time. So
Do you know what attenuation is?
Well, explain it to me.
Attenuation is an extinction limit of light. Atmospheric extinction. It's called attenuation. This is scientifically known. So it has an extinction limit. So yeah, light has an attenuation due to, atmospheric rate, atmospheric extinction, i.e. attenuation. Very simple. So yeah, of course, the sun's light only goes so far. It's called attenuation.
How do I turn off screen share?
Oh, I think it's usually in the same spot on the bottom where it should have a spot.
Okay, it gave me like a totally different window and it's like white. It's weird.
No problem. I can pull you out from my side too. Sometimes it's
Sure.
kind of changes on
that,
people.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Gladly.
Okay. Okay. I didn't hear I didn't hear an explanation that satisfied me. Like again, if you're going to claim that half of the Earth is illuminated at any one time, then one time. Look, if you're going to claim that, you're going to have to explain how half of the Earth is illuminated at any half of the Earth would be illuminated, but you're going to say that light has a finite distance in which it just stops.
Are you disputing attenuation? Because this is scientifically known and accepted. Atmospheric extinction.
So you're saying that the atmosphere is what makes light just suddenly stop?
It doesn't suddenly stop. It's gradual dissipation. It has an attenuation rate.
Okay, and you're saying that attenuation rate is different in the middle of the Earth rather than towards the sides or edges?
No, why would
half of the Earth is illuminated at any
why would you say that?
One time, and the distance between well, it would have to. Like again, look, the distance between the edge of the Earth and the sun is going to be different than the sun and the middle of the Earth.
Yeah. How do you know where the edge of the Earth is, bro?
Okay, well, I mean, you can take a drone up, and I guess we could just see where the edge of the Earth is, right?
That's illegal.
It's illegal to take a drone up?
To go towards past the 60th parallel, yes.
Okay,
That's not on you. It's illegal.
Okay, I don't even understand why it matters where the edge of the Earth is. It's just
because you just keep on saying half the Earth over and over, and you have no idea what the entirety of the Earth is. And I said that evolves over top of us. In the preface. In addition, circuit specific. Note the Earth, the sun rotates to the time of year, and it has an attenuation limit. It isn't even complicated. Light doesn't go forever in an atmosphere. It has atmospheric extinction limit called attenuation. So.
Okay, sure, but I mean, we can determine where, again, even if you're going to play this game where you just say, oh, I don't know where the edge of the Earth is, I don't know where certain things are, I'm not making any kind of accurate model for you to pick apart. We can know for sure that Australia is in a different time zone than US and Canada. I mean, we can do that for all of the, every country. So, I mean, again, we still have the same issue where we still have the same half of the population issue where the populated Earth, because you're saying I don't know, Earth could theoretically go on infinitely. Half of the populated Earth is illuminated at any one time, but the distance between the middle of the populated Earth to the sun is shorter than the distance of the edge of the populated Earth. So you have the same issue.
We don't know what the edge is, man. Why do you keep saying that?
One second.
I said edge of the populated Earth. So
okay. Well, the sun. How do we know the limitation of the circuit of the sun, bro? Why? How do I know the sun may go further than we're allowed to go? It's a real thing. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. We're not allowed to go past the 60th parallel. Can't go past the 60th parallel. I didn't make that rule. That's just without being subject to monitored and on approved guided tour. Can't bring external fuel supply or water supply or mechanic equipment. And every country, major world power in the world agreed to it after Operation High Jump, a military operation by the U.S. government to explore Antarctica. Then they signed the Antarctic Treaty and founded NASA in a handful of years, maybe a decade. That's real. I just read it. I know you can't go.
Well, that's fine. Well, look, that's fine. It doesn't even matter. Like, again, you still have the same issue where even if you're going to make this claim that, you know, what is it, solar attenuation or something, or atmospheric attenuation, where light can't travel infinitely in an atmosphere, of Earth, where, I mean, you can have still Skype call with someone in Australia. Well, if we're talking about the populated port or Japan, like the opposite side of the Earth, at this time it's like 9. It would be morning for them. Like, look, you can use this sort of thing to just easily determine where the sun is hitting on the Earth. But like, again, the center point of, you know, the middle of the populated portion of Earth, it's closer to the sun than the end point or the edge of the populated Earth. So if you're going to use this, you know, atmospheric attenuation thing, well, then the atmosphere stops light at difference. This is just different portions, and it just seems complete an excuse that doesn't pan out. Completely arbitrary. It just doesn't make any sense.
You haven't even researched flat Earth. Why would you come to a flat Earth debate?
I've actually done a fair bit of research on flat Earth, and I'm well aware of this argument, and it just doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna use this atmospheric attenuation argument, well then, like, there's arbitrary points in which light can still travel and light can't travel, and it just sounds like complete nonsense.
Well, no. What's nonsense is that you're just saying vague sentiments, and you're not even, you know, offering substantive specificity as to what exactly your argument is. But regardless, the sun moves a certain way over time of us. Our day and night cycle and season cycles are relative to that. We don't know the entirety of it, and there's something called attenuation, or use case. So it has an extinction limit, suggesting that light goes forever in the element relative to its position over the atmosphere, because it's scientifically known that isn't the top of the Earth. It's literally that simple. And again, what's so funny? Can we prove the globe Earth, please? Because there should be thousands of proofs that the Earth's a globe. It's 2020, so can we just
sure. Take a flight in a U-2 or an SR-71 Blackbird at around 70,000 feet. It's not even the max altitude of those aircrafts, and you can very easily see a curvature of the Earth. Okay. You don't even need to go into a spaceship or go on the space station or anything. Just go into a high-altitude plane.
It's patently false. So, yeah, U-2s go about 70,000 feet or so. Do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Yeah.
He says, Felix, and it shows a huge curvature. Baumgartner, you know, the Red Bull jump. And he said that he saw the curvature. He jumped from 128,000 feet. Sure. So then we sent private weather balloons up, high-altitude weather balloons, up 120,000 feet, and we saw a flat horizon that rose to eye level. So showing that footage wasn't real. Well, then Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said, no, you would never see curvature from where Felix Baumgartner jumped at 128,000 feet. From there, you would be 2 millimeters off this beach ball, and that stuff would be freaking flat. So even the top proponent of the globe religion says that you would never see curvature from 120,000 feet. So 70,000 feet is 50,000 less than that. We've sent high-altitude footage up there. You don't see curvature. So it's just a common misconception. People presuppose these things, but they don't look into it. The top leading astrophysicists of it. If I can't see curvature from 120 your model, then how could I see 28,000 feet according to see it at almost half that distance?
Okay, wait. You said you sent up a weather balloon?
High altitude weather balloons that go about 120,000 feet.
Okay, so did you actually verify the altitude?
Yeah, it has a meter that knows the altitude. This has been done by a lot of people. So are you saying...
Can you show me the footage?
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, can you link me a video where they did... where they used footage of 120,000 feet in the air and they looked to see whether or not the Earth had a curvature?
Yeah, sure. Can someone link one of the dozens of videos this guy did?
Sort of thing. I've seen
research in the chat for me, please.
No,
just ignored my whole point. A top
look, I've seen
astrophysicist proponent of your model says you can't see footage or curvature from 128,000 feet.
Who? Neil?
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah.
Okay, where's the quote of him saying that?
Okay, I guess I'll find that video too. And when you think I'm making this up on a live makeup, it's a video of him saying it on stage.
Okay. The thing is, I mean, there's video footage of people going up into SR-71s, U-2s. They go around 70,000 feet, and they claim they can see the curvature. There's also a video where you can see the curvature. There's also other weather balloons. Other balloon experiments where you
certain lenses can impose a curvature.
can see the curvature. They use
What
high
about the
altitude
lenses on the horizon?
Okay, well, not to that extent. Like,
Well,
you
that's
can,
what Neil
I know
deGrasse-
what barrel distortion. Like, dude, I know what barrel distortion is. I've done photography for a long time. You can't just get away with using like a fisheye lens and not having anyone notice. You're gonna have a certain amount of barrel distortion with any kind of lens, unless it's a really highly telescopic lens. But I mean, a wide-angle zoom of like even 14 millimeters on a full frame. It's not going to distort the image to the extent where you could see a huge curvature when something should be just flat. And again, that sort of distortion would be visible throughout, but not the people and all of the other things, the entire image. It wouldn't just be in the foreground. And on top of that, only the Earth, as the camera moves, you would see the distortion change. So you would reach a point where the Earth would be flat, or it would have like a weird kind of dip in it. So no, this doesn't make any sense. If you're going to make this like barrel distortion claim, well, okay, if they're using a lens that would distort the image, then if they tilted downwards so the horizon line is below the center point of the frame, then you'd see the curvature go this way. And if you tilt up, you'd see it curve this way. You don't see that in any of the footage.
Actually, I've seen tons of footage that Globe Earthers present. That's exactly what happens because of the lack of stability of the weather balloon. The horizon goes convex and concave. Dude, there are dozens over and over. So,
One sec.
Footage. I just don't think you footage where we see a flat horizon. And Neil deGrasse Tyson-
wait.
One sec. I want to just quick ask. Forgive me, Witsit. I'm so sorry for interrupting, but if you happen to have headphones, I just realized there is a little bit of feedback. If you don't, it's not a big deal. We can keep going and people can still understand you, but there's a little bit of feedback just in case you have headphones handy. And also want to remind you folks, both Witsit Gets It and Vegan Gains, I have put their links in the description for you folks. So that way, if you're listening and you're like, I like that, you can hear plenty more where that came from. So appreciate that. And thanks so much for your questions. And yes, someone asked as well regarding the light app called Lumia. Basically, great. So basically, the reason that my studio is like a new subscriber, and we say, well, sometimes lights up, is we tried a new app. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here with us. And then red is when a super chat happens, the studio flashes red. And with that, pardon my interruption with It Gets It. So sorry about that, but just wanted to, we've got, some audio divas out in the, out there, say, hey, we're getting feedback. So anyway, thanks for that.
Yeah, I think these should work. Let me look them up. All right.
Thanks so much.
Okay, can you hear me?
Well, no, I can
Absolutely.
still hear you.
Okay, you mentioned
Thanks so much. It's clear.
that there's some videos where
Okay.
you take a camera up in a weather balloon and you can see the distortion of the lens and it makes the Earth curve this way, curve downwards. I think there's a few explanations for that. So one is it's the shutter speed of the camera. So if the shutter speed of the camera isn't particularly fast and it's at a low shutter like 30 and the gyration of the camera is really rapid, you're going to get those sorts of artifacts where it'll warp the image. Are really well aware of this. If you're ever, I think a lot of people who are in the film or shooting any kind of moving action industry are really, you have to kind of consider shutter speed of the camera, because if you do a quick pan, it'll actually make it so that everything goes tilted, or it'll actually have a curve to it. There's a fly in front of me. So look again, if you look at images from the International Space Station, photos and videos captured from high altitude aircraft like U-2s, SR-71 Blackbirds, plenty of eyewitness accounts of people who have been up at that altitude. Again, there's just a myriad of photos and videos proving this. Even without using any of that, like let's just say it's all
Model says you can't see curvature at 120.
staged, it's fake, it's CGI.
Well, no, you need 1,000 feet. You're
No,
invoking
that's-
something at 70. You
that's
can't use
something.
it because the top component of your model is 1,000 feet.
Look,
You set
look,
something up to
I literally don't
150,000
care what
feet.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said. I don't care, like, if Neil
Of course you
deGrasse
don't.
Tyson said, look, if Neil deGrasse Tyson agreed with you that the Earth is flat, does that mean the Earth is flat? Like, does
No,
his
it's just
testimony mean it's
the
just
leading
absolute fact?
proponent of your model is
Okay,
disputing
cool.
your own invoking.
Okay, well, cool. If Neil deGrasse Tyson said the Earth is flat, would that prove the Earth is flat?
No, we already did that.
Okay, so then what he says doesn't matter. You can see a curvature to the Earth at 70,000 feet in these
Okay, so
SR-71
Clarify,
footage.
you're saying you know more about the curvature of the Earth than one of the leading astrophysicists of your model.
I've never seen this video clip. Sure. Look, he could be wrong. He could have missed.
That's a
I've
cool
never
story.
seen. Look, I've spoken.
No.
This might have been an issue that he didn't really research or look at. Look, I don't care what he says. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson could come out tomorrow and say the Earth is flat. That doesn't prove the Earth is flat. What he says doesn't, like, prove any kind of fact. Like, look, there's video and photo evidence of people in U-2s, SR-71 Blackbirds. Those planes have max altitudes of, like, around 85,000 feet. You can see the curvature of the Earth. People who fly in those planes also just anecdotally report seeing a curvature.
Have you been in one?
There's footage from the International Space Station where you can see the curvature. You can even see friggin' live streams from the
Can
International
we stop
Space
monologuing,
Station.
bro? Can you make one of your false claims so I can obliterate
You asked me to respond, and I responded.
what I rate it one at a time? Because you're just I need, right, to be fair, okay, no,
Okay, well,
78,000. Each one of your claims require a
Okay,
response to specificity. Okay, we'll get to the ISS if you want to, but you're saying that there are pictures of curvature at 70, 80,000 feet. Okay, have you been in one of these planes? No, you're invoking someone else's anecdotal experience. In addition, have you
Well, they have photo and video evidence.
researched the manufacturing of the windows? Are they triple plane? Do they impose a curvature? Those are real. I have the patents. You're laughing, but I've read the. It's so funny. The Globe Earthers never do any of this research, and they know more about it. So you can look at the patents of certain planes. They impose a curvature. This is openly known. In addition, I've been in commercial planes. At least you didn't invoke that. Some Globe Earthers do. I didn't. Yeah. I see a curvature.
Yeah, they're at 35,000
I agree. That's why I said it's just commercial flight.
feet. You're talking about
Sure.
half the altitude.
But I'm saying we've sent footage up to 120,000 feet, bro, and it shows a flat horizon.
Okay,
So-
and I've seen footage where it shows a very clear curvature.
But,
Show me the video you
if
took.
you dissect the video, it will make the horizon fluctuate because of an imposition of curvature. I'm not
No,
going to keep
I-
saying this. Anyone that actually researched it and I'm biased knows I'm speaking the truth. Globe Earthers that argue for your side, that are mainstream top proponents, agree with what I'm saying. So, you gotta do better than this. So is that your proof that the Earth's a globe is some anecdotal, unverifiable, singular
Okay, so look, you just said there's
account of someone in a U2? You're just saying
video footage of.
said saw curvature.
Okay, cool.
And
Look, I'm going to share the screen. You said there's video footage. Oh, I see. It's on my window. So you said there's video footage of weather balloons, and you'll see it's flat. Okay, well, here's a weather balloon curvature, 100,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Don't see it.
What kind of lens did they use?
Okay, look, if there was.
Oh, look at it! It just went up. You just refuted yourself.
Look
at it. It's
again.
going up. Okay, debate. Okay, this topic.
Okay, look, wait.
Look at it. It's curving up.
Yeah, it's curving up. That's like,
Okay.
look, this can just very easily be explained. Look, this can just very easily be explained by shutter. What? It's shutter movement.
You're doubling down. You're really gonna? Are you gonna double down? We just saw it turn in
Dude,
both directions.
that's just distortion caused by shutter. So look, you can see it moving. You can see it moving throughout the entire thing here.
Keep
It's
going.
only when there's quick movements do you see that sort of distortion. What?
No,
When you do that, the stream can't.
Yeah, I know.
it's when it changed directions and went up above the horizon curved upwards. So you literally
that's related to speed. It's not related to angle.
Well, you're on record on a live stream just a few minutes ago saying that if it was imposing curvature, that it would do just that very thing. Your globular heliocentric model, or that your postulation just did, lifetime religion, says that you can't see curvature from behind. So again, the top proponent of your 128,000 feet, do you have any type of evidence to verify the specificity of the positive claim of the globe Earth? You still have the burden of proof. You can go to axial rotation. You can go to the size of the Earth. Do you know what the size of the Earth is? Do you know what their circumference is?
No, I didn't look that up. I didn't bother.
Okay. Do you
it doesn't even matter.
Well, I just think it's weird that we're the dumb ones and we know more about your model than you. The circumference of 24,901 miles at the equator. It's a radius of 3,959 miles, right? And then applying geometry, we can deduce a geometric horizon or a rate of curvature accurate up to around 1,200 miles, okay? But a geometric horizon is where the geometric horizon should be. We can take 1.225 times the square root, go out and we test that necessitation of the observer's feet and height, and you can deduce it of a globular Earth. Okay, it's repeatedly falsified. With the falsification of that radius, the entire model implodes. The current connotation of gravity requires that number. Orbital trajectories, day and night cycles, distances of a mile. Everything in the heliocentric model requires that 3959 radius number to be exactly right, and we falsified it. And you still have the burden of proof to actually substantiate it, and you didn't even know what it was. None of the globe earthers do. It's okay. I understand that people probably think this is stupid when they first hear it. I thought it was incredibly stupid, but it isn't. The Earth really is flat. All you have to do is actually go research it diligently, independently, without bias, and then co-test them for yourself with empirical verifiable means.
Wait, so you're saying there's...
So we can get into that. If you have
proof that the Earth is flat.
to substantiate those claims.
Okay.
Yes, if everywhere we go, there's no curvature. If there's no curvature...
Well, you can actually see a curvature, even with your bare naked eye on flat ground.
That's convenient. So we never see the curvature of Earth.
No, you can. No, you can actually prove it. Look, you've probably heard of this before, and I know there's a debunk. You're probably going to bring up refraction of light or some crap. Sailboats, when they go further and further out, you see that the actual boat portion disappears, but their sails stay visible. And I know the debunk of this. You can explain it if you want. But again, there's experiments that you can even watch on.
So when a boat disappears
on YouTube, where they actually verify this
to my naked eye,
this is true.
Cool. And then I pull out P900 and I zoom in and it comes back.
I know.
Why did it? Wait. Why did it disappear the first time?
What do you mean?
Why did it disappear to the naked eye? Right? It didn't actually disappear, right? Because I brought it back.
Well, no, it is. No, it does. It disappears because there's a curvature of the Earth and it's going below the horizon because...
Oh, and then the P900 zooms X-ray vision through the curvature.
No, okay, so here's another thing that I can actually point you towards. It's a video on YouTube. I'll share it. People on my stream can't see the video, so I'll just be courteous and open up a tab so everybody on my stream can see. So you can actually do this.
You got it.
Design an experiment. So these people, but they got a boat and they also set up this this tarp basically. So there's a red line, white line, black line, and as you go further and further out, the bottom line ends up disappearing, and this is with that special, amazing magic camera that you're talking about. So the further out you go, it disappears. I think they got out to around 2 miles, and the red line ended up disappearing at around 2 miles. So you have to go far out. I know the videos you're talking about where... it looks like the boats disappeared, but they are, again, this is kind of like a zoom in further. Well, that's just a photography trick thing. If misleading, they're not actually out that far. You're using a lens that has a wide angle. It's actually, everything looks smaller in the frame than it does in real life, and it just looks further out than it really is. With the naked eye, you could probably still see the entire boat. It's just the way they filmed it. It looks like the boats disappeared. But
Okay, well, that's
at
the wrong
around 2
answer.
miles, look, sorry, at around 2 miles, that's when you can actually start to see things disappear. You probably need to look out further than that to like have the entire bottom of a boat disappear, because you're talking about a really large object as opposed to just like a stripe that's maybe a foot in length. And again, I mean, like even 17th century sailors knew about this sort of. Further, if you're higher up thing, why is there a crow up in the air? And again, that's because of the freaking crow's nest. You can see picture.
All Glover's trying to teach us stuff that we know more about. So I asked you a simple question. If the boat disappears to the naked eye, then I pull a P900 out, it reappears. Then why was it?
Look, I already explained this.
You went on a big long monologue.
I already explained this.
Because it reached a limit of perspective.
No, I already explained this. No, I already explained this.
Angular resolution, atmospheric conditions, and observer height.
No, I already explained this, dude. You're not setting up an experiment where you can actually measure things. The video clip I just showed you, they set up an experiment where you could actually accurately measure. They went out further and further, even with that things. There was a clear red camera that could zoom in super far at the bottom, and I think it's like 80 times zoom or something, it disappeared. So what are you talking about? Just like you're talking about a boat, like. Okay, yeah, with the naked eye, and you zoom in, sure, but you're talking about a huge, gigantic object. It takes a long time for that to completely disappear over the horizon. If you used what they used there, like a tarp with the different bars across, you can actually measure when they start to disappear. And at about 2 miles, roughly a foot of the cardboard tarp or whatever they used disappeared.
Okay, so again, when a boat disappears and it comes back into view, eventually, with the naked eye, you can bring binoculars, disappear again, because it also reaches the lasers, telescope, P900 zoom of perspective of that optical equipment based on angular resolution. And of course, atmosphere.
That makes no sense.
Well, it's just factual, so it doesn't, objectivity doesn't actually get into the confinements of what you understand. It is just objective that things disappear when they reach a limit of perspective. This is replicatable.
What you just said.
Measurements aren't experiments, right? Like measurements aren't science. Okay, that's math describes, science explains. Just to clarify that. But yes, we go out and consistently make observations and demonstrations through measurements that falsify the claim of radius. So I don't.
No goddamn sense. Listen, what you just said, if you're going to make this claim that, you just said it makes absolutely, it's just too far out for the camera to see, why is only the bottom disappearing?
It doesn't always only disappear from the bottom.
Look. See how my hand disappears there? Is it because of like some sort of camera trick where it's just going out too far, or is it actually disappearing behind something?
Yeah, good one, dude. So anyway, they don't always disappear from the bottom up, right? And you can replicate this with observations. You can take a coin on a flat table, it disappears from the bottom up. Tons of gifts, we all have them. You just haven't actually researched it, so you haven't looked in time. And that's cool, but I don't really, the other side of any of these arguments, you're basically see where the arrogance would come in. Basically, just research Flat Earth the first time on a time, right? So we can replicate that things disappear from the bottom up, right, on a flat surface using a coin. Okay, if you stand at the end of a long hallway, then the ceiling and the floor will appear to converge. Okay, this is just a known aspect of perspective. Okay, so again, angular resolution, atmospheric conditions, and observer height are the invariance of factors within the atmospheric conditions, of course, humidity, etc., temperatures. Then you will know exactly what your angular resolution impact will be on your perception.
Okay, look, again, you're using a camera that can zoom in extremely far. None of this makes any sense. Why would it disappear from the bottom up? Then you should be able to give me examples where it disappears
from the top up.
Sorry, from the top up. Top down. I misspoke.
Disappears from okay. Yeah, they don't always disappear from the bottom up. Sometimes they just change in like size and entirety as they disappear. And again, we can replicate this with simple demonstrations like a coin on a flat table. But this is so crazy because why can't we just get proof the Earth's a ball? You know, like there should be thousands of proofs. Can you substantiate curvature, axial rotation, an atmospheric pressurized condition adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torque? Can you just substantiate any of the positive claims of the globe Earth? We're constantly like, we have literally blown the entire, the boats disappear over the horizon. They know this because of horizon thing out of the water, and the observations like the people that debate for your side every day, Black Swan, which I can present if you would like, right? So simply the Black Swan, someone took an observation from 1 foot off the ground, and that means that the geometric horizon can't be further than 1.2 miles. We saw horizon past 9.5 miles, dude. Okay, so you're claiming a physical obstruction of a geometric horizon when boats disappeared to the naked eye. You're not going to bring them back. But then at the same time, you're acting like that isn't relevant, right?
Okay, so look, I've never heard of this one before, so you caught me off guard. But this is what you're talking about, right?
I've never seen this one.
What you're talking about, right?
Well, what part? Sure.
So what do you mean a coin on a flat
Part of that coin disappeared first.
table disappears? This is. Yeah, the bottom, and that's because the dude put the camera below the friggin' table.
Nope, I've seen one where he zooms all the way in, and you can still see the quarter on the other side of the table, which means it had to be at least above the table so you could see it.
No, dude. If you put the coin if you put the camera below the table, well, the coin is above the table, so the further it goes out, the more the coin will disappear, but you can still see it above the table.
Hey, dude.
So this is just like sorry, but retarded bullshit. I think that's the only word to describe it.
Yeah, dude. That's all you do. Say stupid things. But anyway, do this, dude. Okay, you claim that
wait.
the pressurized system is adjacent to a near. I'll show you. You cannot perfect vacuum.
What are you talking about?
You claim in your model that a pressurized system is adjacent to a near perfect vacuum.
What?
Your globe religion claims there is an atmosphere with pressure and it's in a space vacuum.
Okay, sure. The atmosphere of the Earth has a higher pressure than space.
Well, they say space is a near perfect vacuum.
Yeah, sure.
Pressurized system adjacent to it.
Yeah, okay.
The necessary antecedent to gas pressure is physical containment. So, what?
Gravity?
How do we have gas pressure on Earth if it's which gravity? Adjacent to a
gravity? Well, the gravity the Earth creates due to its mass.
Oh, so proportionate mass.
What do you mean proportionate mass?
Well, that's what it is. So there's Newtonian gravity, proportionate mass, mass relative and proportionate to the amount of mass, right? Or the gravity.
Are you telling me gravity doesn't exist?
Well, I think it's funny. You just made a positive claim. I'm going to have to teach you about it.
No. Are you claiming gravity doesn't exist?
All right. You do understand, again, that positive claims require the burden of proof.
Well, no. I'm just asking you a simple question. Do you not?
Gravity in its current connotation has never been proven. That is correct.
Okay. So if I jumped off a building, it's not gravity that killed me? Okay.
Here we go. Yeah, that's called. No, that's correct. I hope you keep up here. So it's called local downward acceleration. You're laughing. It's Newtonian gravity. That's proportionate mass. Mutual mass.
Look. If gravity doesn't exist,
I'm about to dismantle your religion. How about you just let me talk, bro?
Sure.
So Newtonian gravity, because you don't even know. I have to teach you so we can talk about it.
Sure.
So Newtonian gravity, right, is proportionate mass, mutual mass acceleration. This was actually superseded. The current scientific rhetoric is the theory of relativity that was postulated in 1915 by Einstein. Also, in addition, Newton didn't even postulate an explanation for gravity himself. He actually wanted to be distanced from it. In fact, he said that to think that this would operate on brute matter and the vastness of a vacuum is to me so great an absurdity that no man with competent faculty of thinking until 1915 Einstein superseded it, philosophical matters could ever fall into it. The theory of relativity, okay, then he thought it was retarded. Anyway, relativity made three claims. It said that there was an attributable constant speed to light. It said energy and mass are interchangeable, and it said that gravity is the effect of or space-time. That's why I asked you to specify your postulation. What gravity is it that you are invoking to explain going against a natural law, the second law of thermodynamics? You said mass, proportionate mass is what you're talking about, right? Mutual mass acceleration. It's important to understand little g, big G. Little g is local downward acceleration, something falling. Okay, we've attributed a general description of that being 9.8 meters per second squared. That's a measurement, a metrical description and representation of an effect. So you are literally postulating of something falling to the ground, postulating causality, and then you're claiming causality, my guy, conflating it with the metrical representation of the effect of local downward acceleration. So it's preposterous. Like, if I jump off something, are you serious? That's called
Okay,
local
you
downward
understand what a
acceleration.
joke is?
See if you'll respond to any of that with specificity.
Sorry, you're calling me stupid because you can't pick up on an obvious joke?
I didn't call you stupid. I said see if you'll respond to any of that with specificity.
Okay, well, dude, like, I'm asking you a simple question. Do you believe gravity exists or not?
Local downward acceleration exists, but no.
Okay, well, no, just...
in its current connotation.
Okay, so it's just yes or no. Does gravity... So you don't think mass exist, yes or no?
Not in
Gravity.
That's right. Mass does not attract mass. This has never been substantiated through empirical means. Well, actually, this
Okay, so when we can actually measure the amount of light that actually bends in response to coming in close contacts with gravitational masses,
Oh, yeah, when
that's
did they
not
do
evidence
this?
gravity exists.
when they do this.
Sorry?
When did they do this?
What do you mean, when did they do this? This is just something you can observe.
We can observe light bending because of gravitational waves. Where
Yeah.
can I do this?
No, you can actually... No, like, we know that gravity actually causes
What experiment did they do?
light to curve.
No.
Okay, I don't know. This is just a
You actually don't know that? What?
well-known
Okay.
scientific
Yeah,
fact.
you don't.
So black holes don't exist either?
Have you ever seen a black hole?
Yeah, there's
You
video
saw
footage
the
of one.
CGI image compiled of
Okay,
compiled
CGI.
data.
Okay,
They admit
CGI.
that.
That's what we're going with.
They admit. Do you know what a black hole claims to be? You couldn't take a literal picture of it inherently. So they admit that it's not a real picture.
Ugh.
And why are you diverting? That was pure obfuscation, dude. Dude, you claimed gravity. Can you substantiate it? What's this gravity you speak of? You brought up some mystical deified experiment to cop you out, and you don't even know any of
Like, look, if all of these principles are totally station and satellites work, if it falls, then like how the whole concept of gravity doesn't work. How do you explain how like the International Space Station? How is all of this math that we base it on, all of this technology we base it on? How the fuck would it even work? Like,
Wait, what?
it's just insane.
Yeah, you asked a whole lot of questions. So do you know where the ISS claims to be?
Yeah, it's within Earth's orbit. Like, what do you mean?
Do you know how high they say the ISS is?
How high?
252 miles. Do you know where they say space starts?
Where?
62 miles. It's called the Kármán line. Do you know how fast that the ISS travels?
Pretty fast. How fast?
17,500 miles per hour,
Yeah.
5 miles a second in orbital.
Okay.
strength. Isn't it
Sure.
odd? I know all this and you don't, and yet you brought up the ISS. Can you
What does this have to do with anything?
Can you substantiate or
Okay. Yeah. There's
No.
like.
independently verify any of those metrics?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're creating a conspiracy theory where literally millions of people are involved with these projects, and
That's not
somehow
true.
all of them can be tight-lipped and never say, "Oh yeah, it's just all CGI."
No, it's called
Like, look, dude, you can even see
compartmentalization.
live streams from the International Space Station, and I'm
How many
sure,
people
like,
have gone past low Earth orbit? Do you know?
hmm?
You said millions of people have to lie. How many people have claimed to go past low Earth orbit? Do you know?
Dude, internationally, yeah, millions of people over generations that have worked in these institutions, that have worked on this technology. You're talking about millions of people who are all involved in these projects.
Yeah, okay, but if someone sits in front of a screen and they get sent, people believe the lie. How many people in data and they're told to dissect it and send it to them?
Okay,
have
you know
gone
what?
past low Earth orbit. The next guy, that doesn't mean that they're lying. Do you
I'm-
know? You said
I'm
millions.
actually interested. I'm actually
24.
interested.
The answer. 24.
Okay, dude, I'm actually interested to know why you think there's this worldwide conspiracy that the Earth is flat.
Oh, so now you want to divert to speculation?
No. I just want you to explain, because like you're coming up with this like excuse that it's all a lie. Well,
No.
You don't have any evidence that this is a lie, so you have to have some kind of conspiracy. I'm just
guess you're
interested
not
in this conspiracy.
comprehension here. I've explained many reasons that it's a lie. It's scientifically illiterate, okay, and it has the burden of proof. It doesn't substantify that claim. That is independent, substantiate any of the burden of speculation of motive, also proof of specificity. We foster, if there's more land, maybe they want to hide it. Maybe there's more resources. We give NASA $54 million a day. Maybe they want you to think you're a tiny speck of dust.
$54 million a day?
Nihilism, so you'll have a malleable state of mind and be easier to control. Simply, knowledge is power. It's much more powerful when you're the only one with it. And only a handful of people actually have to know that the lie is going on. So now that we've got the speculation and obfuscation out of the way, can we come full circle to why is there gas pressure on Earth if it's supposedly adjacent to a near perfect vacuum,
wait a second.
violating the second law of thermodynamics?
Okay, wait a second. You're saying that this flat Earth conspiracy is made up to hide
This is speculation. Here's some
resources.
no potential reasons.
Okay.
Now, I just now said and preface. You do understand that if you were to verify that they lied, that's independent of their motive, right?
Sure.
Like
I'm just wondering why you think they do this.
I just gave you like 5 reasons.
No, okay, well, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but give me a few.
If there was more land, they could hide that, thus they could have resources. We give $54 million a day to NASA. It actually just got bumped up, okay? So monetary incentive.
Okay, well, look, the yearly NASA budget is only $22 billion. The U.S. military, they just increased the budget massively. What is it, like over $600 billion?
Would they lie? I'm giving some potential reasons.
Now?
Well,
Okay, well, wait, like this...
I'm saying, you said why...
Okay, so this doesn't make any fucking sense. You're saying NASA is like some like weird money hog, and it's all a conspiracy to get more money from the government.
No, I think
$22 billion a year.
Likely reason.
They only get $22 billion a year. The fucking military budget is like so much higher.
You want to argue over like speculative
$22 billion versus over $600 billion?
Why wouldn't you just want to, verify whether or not the Earth is actually a globe and then go from there?
Okay, sure, but I mean, like, you're clearly crazy is the point I'm making. Like,
What?
dude, you're just clearly insane is the point I'm making.
Yeah, but I'm thinking all the life.
I'm just really curious. So wait. We've covered the NASA. Like, we can go back to the main topic and a money scam, which that's nonsense. What's another reason? Resource hogging.
I don't know if there's more land, but there could be.
There's countries.
Man.
Well,
like,
look,
if you're gonna straw man me, at least let me say something first.
Okay, sure.
So
Explain the
I'm
resource
just
hogging.
saying, these are just speculative reasons I'll throw out there, and it's
Sure.
independent of the empirical conversation.
Sure, I can agree with that.
Okay, so I gave you some speculative to play your game for a second, and you want to hone in on each one of the random speculations. That doesn't make any sense. That's called obfuscation. We're talking about is the Earth a magic spinning cartoon legend known as globe heliocentrism, brought to you by Jesuit priests. Centrism was the Vatican Church. Okay, that's who brought us the religion. We want to find out if that's true.
That's not true.
We went out and tested. The Jesuit priests also postulated the Big Bang Theory. I don't know if you're doing that. It doesn't really matter who did it, but that's where it came from. We want to test it for ourselves, dude, and we went out and tested it. You haven't, and so I find it odd that you're so positive. You know that.
Okay, well, wait. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of interested in this. You're saying there's more evidence that there's a flat Earth as opposed to a spherical Earth?
We've consistently falsified the claim of curvature. The falsification of the globe Earth is independent of a need for a definitive model. We don't have all the information accessible to.
Well, that's fine. Look, that's fine. But what evidence do you have that the Earth is flat? I'd like
1 foot observer height on the coast of California.
to just know.
Okay, yeah. The necessitation of the geometry. I told you earlier, we made an observation from physical horizon. A physical obstruction of your model would be 1.2 miles at 1 foot observer height. And we saw a horizon beyond 9.5 miles, a literal impossibility on your globe Earth. We have observations over 273 miles. We have laser tests over 25 miles that should have never hit their target simply using line of sight. But they did over and over. We have observations way too far with a mile missing curvature. And y'all will go as far as to do mental gymnastics instinctually and say, well, no, it had to refract up over a mile and show us exactly what should be there. As opposed to, we see what's there and it's showing us exactly what it is. Y'all will tell us it looks exactly like what's there, but it refracted up over a mile. The globe Earth's claim of curvature and the radius mile of missing curvature. We have 3959 and consistently obliterated. You can't even answer one simple question.
Why don't you show me? Okay, dude, why don't you show me one of these experiments? So we're on the topic of Earth curvature and, you know, whether or not we can see past the horizon on water. Show me one of these experiments that, you know, debunks this, you know, horizon issue.
You can see this?
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, so actually this is not the one. It doesn't really matter. So the observer height is 8 feet here, okay? So the maximum distance, the geometric horizon, is 3 observer height in feet. And so 0.46 miles. You get that by taking, that means that the physical horizon, 1.225 times the square root of the horizon, that should be blocking your view. You know, physical obstruction of view due to a geometric physical horizon can be no further than 3.5 miles. Look at the horizon in the picture. It's beyond the furthest oil rig at 10
That's
miles.
okay. Whoa. Your math is way fucking off. So the Earth would have to be tiny for the horizon to only go out to 3.46 miles.
No. It's from 8 feet off the ground. You understand? That's relative to observer.
Then the horizon line would be even further the higher you go up. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but it's only 8 feet. That's why it's at 3.46 miles.
The Earth would be tiny.
Let me see if I can find the other. What's the correct?
I don't know what the Look, dude, your math is way off. I didn't bother looking any of this up because it's just not worth my fucking time. But 3.46 miles, that's tiny. The Earth would be like, holy shit, the Earth would have to be smaller than like all of North America for that to be the case. If the horizon line is 3.46 miles at 8 feet in height, the Earth would be tiny.
Okay, this is your model's math. I'm sorry you don't understand it.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Dude, there's no goddamn way.
Okay, dude. You should research this stuff, bro. Don't you think? I got a question for you. If the Earth were truly flat, would you want to know that? Would you be
I think
able
that's
to
important. Sure.
publicly admit that you were wrong about? Would you actually want to know that?
Yeah, I would.
The Earth being flat.
Oh, absolutely. Look,
So
if I found out that the Earth was flat, I'd publicly admit it.
Oh yeah, you have the integrity to swallow your pride and admit that it was
I've
flat.
admitted I was wrong about a number of things.
Cool. Well, then that's cool.
I run.
Bro, I don't know you, dog. Like, you could be cool.
I run a channel about nutrition, and some things were recently disproved with new research, like TMAO and its effect on heart disease. There's some new research showing it doesn't do anything. Before, I thought it was a risk factor for heart disease. Like, I've admitted that I was wrong about a few things. But look, that thing you just showed me where the horizon line should only go out to 3.46 miles at 8 feet in height, that's insane. Like, your math is just way off.
Yeah, you're way off.
I think you missed a few decimal
Off the mark. I'm
Dude,
I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to
points in your calculation there.
help you, dude.
It doesn't even look. Like, you're talking about me, like, kind of deflecting and going off into a different topic. You're
I'm
doing
trying
that,
to
dude.
answer.
All you have to do. This is even besides the argument about how large the Earth is. It doesn't even matter how big the Earth is, the rate of the curvature. All you have to do is show me that no matter how far you go out, boats or whatever will not disappear on the horizon. You can just infinitely see it.
Okay.
That's all you have to do.
Using this math right here.
Okay, let's see. The Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3,950 radius of 9 miles. Earth. Let me look this up. Okay, so radius is, it says 6,378.1 kilometers. I'm just looking this up on Wikipedia.
Dude, don't you think that I probably would know better than to put
Its values range from 6,378 kilometers at the equator to 6,357 kilometers at the pole. So the Earth isn't perfectly spherical. It's
Why are you
kind of
teaching me I know
oblong.
all about your religion?
Yeah, sure. So
You shrink it down to the size of a cue ball. It's smoother than a pool ball is what your...
Then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than height in feet, and 1.225 times horizon distance times square root of observers greater than 9.41 miles. Therefore, not p.
Yeah, that goes in.
Well, okay, wouldn't that depend on observer height?
Yes, it would. You are correct. So I will
Okay.
show you what this is pertaining to. Just a second.
And it would also
So, yeah.
be affected by the height of the object that you're tracking. Like again, the coin on the table thing.
We're not tracking an object.
What do you mean we're not tracking an object?
We're looking for the horizon. That's what
Okay.
Okay.
Well, look, the point is you're saying an object that's like a mile object will not disappear behind the horizon high. Obviously, you're still going to be horizon. So if you're going to track be able to see that object at an incredibly great distance, because it's still going to be over the line of the horizon, especially if you have like a very short observer height.
Sure. Okay. Over the what? The line of the horizon. Where's the line of the horizon in this image, bro?
There, like it, where you see
the
it.
sky appears to meet the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's behind the furthest oil rig. That's 9.41 miles. Yeah, globe Earth obliterated. Flat Earth is not some crazy speculative belief system. That's why it's being censored. Just so you know. So simply, the map I just showed you comes from your top proponent's own
Like you're saying at
calculations of curvature. We don't believe it.
an observer height of. Let me actually look this up. 5 feet. You'd only be able to look out 2.73 miles.
Well, that's where the physical obstruction would be. That's where you
Let
would
me
have
see.
a geometric horizon. I think it would be something like 60 feet. So you could still technically see above it, but there would be a physical obstruction of geometric horizon. Yes. It's not there.
Okay, so there's actually a calculator you can use online.
Mm.
Yeah, and it. Okay, so I might as well screen share, I guess. Okay, this will stop you from sharing your screen.
Okay.
I think that again, I'm gonna have to. Calculation is share this roughly correct with my audience, but okay. So I'm just looking at this. Observer height 2 miles, target difference 12,000 meters, target size 10 meters, zoom 3,000 meters. Like, I'm not sure if this does this line up.
Yeah, dude, we got this from Your Earth calculator.
Right.
Just so you know, we don't believe in the globe Earth. It's a fairy tale pseudoscience religion, but we got the numbers from your websites, your proponents that make Earth curve calculators, so we could go test the claim of the globular Earth with a radius of 30 that we have clearly refuted. On 59, thus a necessity, and with the falsification of the representation of a physical horizon, radius comes the falsification of the entirety of the model. So.
Okay, well, wait. Okay, so what you're disputing now is how large the Earth is and how great the curvature is. This doesn't have anything to do with whether or not the Earth is even spherical, so this is just besides the point.
Well, actually, the whole model is wrong. So everything that they told us is wrong if the radius is wrong. Now, if you want to argue that...
Okay, well, wait, no, that's not true. Okay, if the radius is wrong, that doesn't mean that the Earth is flat. That just means, okay, the radius is wrong. Let's just say that the curvature of the Earth is greater.
Right. So do you know how big the radius of the Earth would have to be for that black swan image to be on a ball? It's just under 4,000 miles, right? 240,000 miles. It would have to be close to 1/4 miles. So they tell us the radius is 1 million miles for that observation to happen. We know that isn't the case. we can travel from location to location. And the current connotation of gravity meets that radius number, day and night cycle meets that radius number, orbital trajectories, everything about the globe Earth needs that. So that falsification implodes the whole model objectively. So you can't let go of the radius because the whole model's gone there. But we falsified it. And this is one of a plethora of observations. So we went out and tested it for ourselves. So that's why I always preface these by saying,
okay, well, look, you didn't. Look, you're kind of going off topic, and you're talking about how if we can prove that no, it doesn't. You haven't proven the radius of the Earth. It's an improper calculation. The Earth doesn't have a curvature. Calculation, well, that then proves the Earth is flat. The only thing you've really done is try to inspire. The only thing you've really done is tried to get people to doubt, like inject doubt by making people unsure whether or not the Earth has a curvature. Like
Actually,
this doesn't even prove that the Earth doesn't have a curvature. The best it can possibly do is suggest that the Earth's curvature isn't as great as somebody might have expected it to be, and the Earth is just larger than we might have thought, but it's not. Like, dude, some image
this
of
is a
somebody
concession
took,
that your whole model's wrong.
dude, look, some image that somebody took of like some oil drilling platform, and then them saying like, oh, look how far out that is. I don't see.
It doesn't mean anything.
How that's really proof.
But I mean,
Okay,
like,
dude.
objective. If you can't understand it, that doesn't. Okay, there's a necessitation of a physical geometric horizon. That's a literal, tangible, physical obstruction of a curvature of Earth based on.
And we've proven that. And I've already shown you a video proving that there is an actual obstruction by the curvature of the Earth. I've already shown you a video, and then your excuse is, oh, it's too far for the camera to see, even though it only blocks out the bottom and not any other part of the image.
Hey, man, we have numerous observations falsifying your claim of radius. So you're going back and forth. Are you standing behind the 3,959-mile radius? Or are you saying that the Earth just must be much bigger?
I'm not saying the Earth is big. Is any lights now to verify this?
Well, we just did.
Bigger. I think the calculation we have is
Proved the calculation.
well, we didn't. Pretty damn accurate, especially since we have satellite. All you did was show me an image of like what, an oil drilling site offshore.
Yeah. Okay, but the oil rigs are nothing more than a frame of reference of distance. We're talking about the horizon, the location that the sky appears to meet the ground, right? It was beyond the furthest oil rig. The oil rig is a frame of reference of distance. That's how we know it's 9.5 miles. You can verify the distance on Google Earth, okay, or any map, okay. And this is a still shot from a video, and it's been done numerous times. Do you really think run around with fake stuff and fake numbers? Like, what do I gain from being a flat earther? I get attacked for it. I'm just not scared to speak the truth unequivocally. We falsify actual rotation. You can't substantiate the claim of the globe Earth, bro. And sphericity, a radius. And I'm just saying, you can't substantiate axis circumference. You can't substantiate a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum, violating natural law, the second law of thermodynamics, energy transfer. Right? That's a natural law, and you're claiming something anomalous to a natural law, void of verifiability or empirical evidence. That's a plethora of evidence or issues from an intellectual perspective, and they just get breezed over, and people want to talk about what they think about a flat Earth model. We falsified the globe Earth. I don't have to tell you why they lied to you. I don't have to do. You have to substantiate axial rotation, sphericity, and a size, and you can't. There should be thousands of proofs. There's zero. I've been looking. Why they had to censor it? It's not a big deal. We should have for 5 years. The globe Earth actually all come together, just accept it, and the Earth is dead. It's 2020. That's why, man, that we're allowed to freely traverse the Earth instead of fighting amongst each other. So I didn't lie to you. None of us did, but they did. Why? I don't know. Maybe we should try to figure out. We falsified the claim of the radius. We falsified it. So it's never been proven the Earth's spinning. It's never been proven the Earth's a ball, but we know it's a spinning ball, even though all observations, all of our senses show us the exact opposite of that. And all of our observations, when we go and test the rate of curvature, show us the opposite of that. Where we're missing a mile of curvature in observations, seeing 273 miles, we consistently see too far. We consistently disprove the physical geometric horizon, which is a necessitation of the globe Earth. And it violates natural laws. And the current models of
plenty of time to respond, Vegan Game. just because it's a lot of points for gains, but I do want to note that there are vegan gains to cover, and I'll give you, we'll probably go just a few more minutes with the conversation, and then we will jump into the question and answer, as we are usually, this is about when we would go into Q&A. And so to be fair to vegan gains, we'll give him a few minutes just to respond to that plethora of points from Witsit Gets It, and so he can have his own plethora of rebuttals. So thanks so much, gentlemen, for letting me interrupt.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so look, this isn't a topic that I'm particularly interested in, so some of this information threw me a bit off. I was just doing a bit of reading. So there is such a thing as refraction, and apparently it allows you to see a little bit above the horizon line. So it is, but again, it essentially makes the horizon line appear. There is a horizon further than it really technically is, and it does cause an obstruction, and I've already shown that in the one video footage, that the YouTube clip that I showed you, where they did an experiment, and they actually went out about 2 miles, and after about 2 miles, they were actually able to see the horizon causing an obstruction.
Was it the same the next day?
Sorry?
Was it the same the next day? Because if it's constant.
Okay, well, it's going to be. It's going to vary. Look, it's going to vary based on atmospheric conditions, but not to a terribly significant degree. Like again, I think it might be like less than a mile at most. I was just doing some quick reading on it, and does cause an obstruction. But again, you know, the image that you just showed there, you can't actually show that the horizon. It's just the person who took it. I was just reading up on it. They didn't keep. They didn't factor in the issue of refraction. So you are right about the distance of the horizon line and everything, but at that distance, at a particular height, you will start to see obstruction at around those distances for sure. It's just that, like, you play this game where I've seen flat earthers do this all the time, where they don't use proper measuring equipment or proper measuring techniques, and just because you see a boat that's far out in the distance that you haven't lasered out the target, it's not like you used even recorded an actual GPS to verify the distance of. It's not like you'll just zoom in with a camera and say, oh, see, you can still see the boat, so there's no such thing as a horizon obstruction. When no, if you actually properly conduct these experiments, you calculate how far out the boat is, you use some sort of frame of reference, like the cardboard cutout thing with the different lines, you can actually prove that there is an obstruction. And look, and lastly, I mean, there's plenty of video footage. You can go on SR-71s, U-2s, you can go on the International Space Station, you can see footage from the International Space Station. It all proves the Earth is curved one direction, and they ended up, curved. There are people who've actually traveled, getting back to where they traveled all the way around the globe and where they came from. I mean, there's so much evidence, supporting that the Earth is curved. And I mean, if you're going to claim that gravity doesn't exist, well, then that's going to require some high-level math for you to even disprove.
Let me just. Can I respond to all this?
You want to? I think the trick is, it's like at some point we've got to, if one of you is willing to defer to the other, just because we give you that roughly 2.5 minutes. Witsit Gets It, and then I was trying to give Vegan Gains that roughly 2.5 minutes to respond. So let's jump into the Q&A. So really do appreciate all of your questions, folks. I think we'll get through with it, and assuming at this point, if you have submitted a super that the Raiders got maybe another 25 chat as of this point, we can for sure have minutes. If you submit a super chat after, and it depends on how much time the speakers have, I've got all night. Very sad. But it's basically, if the speakers have to go, we might not get to read super chats that are sent in from this point forward. So do want a quick read through. Thanks for your super chat. Anthony, let me know if I mispronounced this, Anthony. Sicante, appreciate it, said, had a feeling T-Jump couldn't handle Witsit. Must have watched a debate of his and pooped bricks. I don't know. We gave Dumb Jump is taking the night off. Don't worry, he'll come back. But Steven C, thanks for your super chat, said, light is blue. That's why the studio is blue. Monkey Cat Pat, when James is thinking of T. Pat, thanks for your super chat, who said, Jump That's very funny. Yes, that's it. Why can't the North Star be seen from Australia?
Limit of perspective. That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha. Robert Summers, thanks for your super chat, said, how do tides work on a flat Earth perspective? And hi, James. Thanks, Robert. Hi as well.
How do they work on a globe Earth? Oh, tidal law can completely unsubstantiated, requiring the reification of gravity, normal trajectory, and sphericity and solidity of both objects, the moon and the Earth. Simply, temperature and electromagnetic interaction with the water seems to play a factor.
Gotcha. And thanks so much for your super chat from Rule.
Wait, I actually have a Coriolis effect. Like,
No, I don't believe.
Question. Can I just
Believe in little
ask you a question? Do you actually believe in the?
weird fairy tales.
Okay, so you don't actually believe the Coriolis effect? Like, you don't think the Earth spins?
Well, yeah, I don't believe in just.
Okay,
random
so you're telling me the military gives information to snipers that would make them miss because snipers
Oh, that's
have to
crazy
take into
that I
account
talked
the
to a
Coriolis effect?
military sniper like 2 weeks ago, and they say they've never accounted for Coriolis in their life.
Okay, so have they actually tried to take out a target beyond a kilometer?
Yeah. He said that at
They
long
have?
distance shooting, you don't factor in. No, I haven't. I'm saying you don't factor in the Coriolis. I've read
No?
the patents. They say that if it's in the newest ones that they say that it is accounted for, it's just in the calculations already. They never account
Or in the Marines, and they've
for it. I talked to one the other day.
told me they have had to. Okay, well, look, I've known a few people who have taken into account the Coriolis effect, so
Okay, well
I
that's
don't know.
not.
Maybe it's just the experience he's had.
Next up, thanks for your super chat from Roy Lindsay, who said, why do globe Earth models give us right answers? Witsit gets it.
Because the globe Earth was formulated over hundreds of years after the observation. So taking the reoccurring observation and then fitting it into the confinements of a model that's working isn't a synonymous with predictability. It's just a representation of reoccurring phenomena.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat. Dwayne Burke, who said Nathan Thompson and Fight the Flat Earth are now best. Nathan Thompson himself, thanks for your friends forever. Congrats to your super chat, said Nathan Thompson and Fight. Vegan Gains, first 5 minutes of researching Flat Earth ever. I don't understand. Oh, he's claiming Vegan Gains. He's saying this is your first 5 minutes of researching it.
Not exactly. I've heard some of the major arguments, but yeah, some of the stuff about the radius of the Earth and stuff that threw me off. Just because it's not a topic that I care enough about to really get into any of the math. But it's not the first time I've really researched it.
Appreciate your authenticity. And the phone guy, thanks for your super chat, says Witsit gets it. Explain seasons
The sun revolves over top of us.
a
Yes.
night in one model. Thanks for your super chat, Maynard Saves, who says, what scientific forces hold the flat Earth together?
What are you talking about? Why are you presupposing a necessitation of some mystical deified force? The current connotation of gravity was postulated to explain directionality on a ball.
Okay, wait. Do you think that all other celestial bodies are flat, or like is Earth the only one?
I don't know. We just see orbs of lights in the sky that look like circles.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you can even see like a planet like Mars with the naked eye, and if you have a good telescope, you can actually see it fairly clearly. It's not just a light.
Yeah, but can you substantiate sphericity?
You can, like we've landed a rover
Or solidity?
on Mars.
Okay, well there you go.
Yes.
No, you appeal to the authority of NASA.
Okay.
Does the
so it's
government
all
ever
right,
lie? Does the government ever lie?
yeah.
Next up.
NASA isn't the government.
Must move.
Yeah, literally is.
Hang024, thanks for your super chat. Question for the Witsit Gets It. Please explain how an equatorial mount works on flat Earth.
Better than on a globe Earth.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat. Dwayne Burke, who says, big shout out to G-Cat. Thanks for that. Let's see. We'll tell G-Man's cat you say hi. General Ballsack, thanks for your super chat, says, let's go to Antarctica, Witsit Gets It, and prove the flat Earth once and
Have you ever lied in your life?
for all.
Have I ever lied?
Hey,
It's illegal, man.
What's it? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we can't trust anything you say?
Well, no, I was just saying, like, if the government's provably liars, could we blindly believe everything a government agency says? That was my point.
Okay, well, we don't. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to say they've lied before, does that make everything they say a lie?
No, of course not.
Okay.
They give us temperature readings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, thanks for your super chat from Kang024 says, question for Witsit Gets It. The sun does not change angular size in the sky to an observer. Please explain sunsets.
Yeah, just look at sunsets recorded with the solar, your perception, observer height, solar filter, and you can actually bring them back. Like
Gotcha.
everything. They simply disappear relative to...
Charlie Welch, thanks for your super chat, said, sorry, no cherry picking. He says attenuation is accepted scientifically, but so is round Earth. So what's his issue? Standard Flirth YouTube graduate. Oh, snap, Witsit Gets It. Are you going to let him talk to you like that?
Okay, there's no empirical verifiable scientific evidence for the globe Earth. It never substantiates causality or makes a correlation with cause and effect. With the replication of an independent variable that's manipulated, it is pseudoscience.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat from Dearest Kang024 said, oh, I know I'm going to say this. Says, question for Witsit Get Wrong. Himawari Itsit, what is your explanation for the 8 Japanese weather satellite near real-time imaging of the Earth from space? Please don't just say it's fake.
If I don't know, but I'm going to assume that it's just like all the other space agencies openly emit composite images of compilation of high-altitude footage, projecting on a flat map surface, wrapping around a ball, and then doing R's rendition. Composite imagery, CGI. NASA openly admits this. I'm sure it's the same with that very specific thing he asked about.
Thanks for your super chat. Kang024, who says, question for Witsit Gets It, please explain a lunar eclipse. Try better than Nathan Thompson's weak, a light in the sky and it goes answer. Oh, Nathan, dark sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're coming after you. That it's
Yeah, sometimes there's an obstruction to the celestial bodies, but in fact, look up the Selenilian eclipse. It's called the impossible eclipse. It doesn't work on the globe Earth heliocentric model because the moon and the sun are both above the horizon at the same time, and the horizon and the shadow comes from the wrong way. And you are presupposing, of course, the physical obstruction, begging the question of sphericity and it being a shadow. So yeah, we just know that there's an obstruction that's pretty reoccurring.
Anthony Chicante, thanks for your super chat, said Black Swan. Trying to understand the context.
That was the picture of the observer height that defeats and refutes the globe Earth.
Top Globe. Liliaro, thanks for your super chat, said, scientist, fund them for reality show Top Flat Earth for experiments and expeditions. How can we make this happen? That's a good idea, Lily. Trolling for Truth, thanks for your super chat, says, roll his video again. It's a black swan. I don't understand. Black swan, they mean like figurative or...
Black swan is meaning that if you make the claim that all swans are white and then you find a black swan that falsifies the claim all swans are white, those images that falsify the geometric horizon are globe Earth black swans. They can't exist if the Earth's a globe with the size they say. So it was coined the black swan.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll give Vegan Gaze a chance to respond just in case he wants to, because that was originally for him, and I let
He's asking, like, how do I justify
you answer the last one. Sorry about that. I misunderstood.
these black swans? Oh, so
I think they're arguing that it's something to that effect. Or
okay. Well, again, like, these flat earthers, they take videos and images, and either their calculations are incorrect or the measuring equipment they use is inaccurate, or they're just making assumptions on things that they just don't really have much of an understanding on, like how light refraction can actually change the apparent horizon line, things like that.
Gotcha.
So
Which
these
type
things
of
are
Decepticons-
explainable.
Hold on, just because the super chat was originally for him, I don't want to gang up on Decepticons Forever. Thanks for your super chat. Said, ask Witsit how much
Pounds.
Gotcha. She weighs on Earth. Thanks for your super chat. Trolling for Truth
170.
says, Witsit, unleash the Black Swan. Gotcha. Sounds like you have a fan out there. Craig Montgomery, thanks for your super chat. Said, "Hey Austin, where is the barrier exactly?"
I don't know. We're not allowed to do that either. It's illegal to try to privately explore that area. But if you look at declassified military documents, it seems they consistently stopped at roughly about 70 miles. So look up Operation Fishbowl, etc.
King024, thanks for your super chat. Said, question for Witsit, why do the oceans not rush to fill the lower pressure system of the sky above them? If your answer is density, then isn't the atmosphere more dense than the vacuum
Pressure.
of space?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Next up, Brian Peck, thanks
Water isn't the same as gas.
for your super chat. Said, Vegan Gains has come a long way from, what is the Bering days?
Oh, that was probably like a year or two ago. Yeah, that I debated Bering.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. And thanks for your super chat. Kango24, by the way, I have to say, Vegan Gains, we would be honored to host you on the topic of veganism, as I have to be honest, the vegans that have come on here, tough debaters. Veganism is it's not an easy position. I think a lot of people underestimate it, and so we would be thrilled to have you come back for
You
that
know what?
as well.
You said Matt Dillahunty was going to be on soon. Debates, but then I've showed him multiple instances.
Yes.
Try to get him to debate me instances where he has debated people online. Then he's a coward. He said he doesn't do online. Blocked me on Twitter for no reason. So maybe ask Matt Dillahunty, like, why does he keep running away from the topic if he thinks it's so ridiculous?
I can see if he'd like to debate the topic. And Kango24, thanks for your super chat, said, fact for Austin or Witsit gets it. Jupiter is proof of gas next to the vacuum of space. Anybody can see Jupiter with a cheap telescope.
Oh, the telescope substantiated that it's a spherical planet made of gas in a vacuum. Of course it didn't. You have to presuppose the very, begging the question. So,
Gotcha. Crane spot that aren't distorted. Montgomery, thanks for your super chat. Said, with the bottom of the platform, what about all the other pictures from the same obstructed?
yeah, the horizon is an optical location, so it's just an apparent location. It's where the sky appears to meet the ground. It fluctuates consistently based on atmospheric conditions, angular resolution, and observer height. So it fluctuates, proving it isn't solidity of some physical curvature. It's just an optical illusion that constantly fluctuates.
Gotcha. And thanks for your super chat. Monkey Cat Pat says, 2 in a row. First says, Witsit is an expert at word salad. Gotcha. How do you like them apples, Witsit? And then they say, why are the cranes distorted? Refraction in all caps.
Compilation of atmosphere between you and whatever's being viewed, but there is no specific type. Yeah, refraction is always consistent when there's a type of refraction that can be invoked to explain the extension of a horizon. Certainly not that far. We've obviously researched the rebuttals. We wouldn't postulate them in debates. There is no invoking of refraction that's sufficient to explain the black swan, hence the name.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat. Tim Pryor, who said, I love how flat earthers say there's no measurement of the curve, but Fight the Flat Earth shows measurements of the curve to flat earthers all the time from a bunch of geo surveyors.
Cool story, bro. Tell them to send me the geodetic surveys. I'll look at them. I've looked at a lot of them.
I'm trying to understand this one.
They never work out. Yeah.
Unicorn Laser. Next up, let's see. Their eyes. Does anybody recognize that name?
No.
Says, who needs a radius? Vegan Gains doesn't. Ha ha. I don't understand. Is this supporting Vegan Gains or going
Not
against
sure.
you? I'm confused. But Tim Pryor, thanks for your super chat, said, except for Bob from Globebusters, proved the Earth rotates. Thanks, Bob. So that was the same person that was just opposing you with It Gets It.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He was misrepresented, taken out of context. So, cool story, bro.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat from Ravens over your numbers. Based on the information, Zero says, Witsit, me and my caution at hand, and it's completely raw leagues. Just run quick math or wrong. Try again.
It's literally from Earth Curve Calculator. So I just Googled that and then retry it out.
Leah Murphy, thanks for your super chat, said, so when I looked at Jupiter through my telescope and saw moons orbiting it, is my telescope also part of NASA's conspiracy?
Yeah, you have to presuppose sphericity and solidity, and whatever's happening in the sky does not correlate to terra firma.
General Ballsack, thanks for your super chat, said, what's better, Vegan Gains? U2 the plane or U2 the band?
The plane. I'm not a fan of U2.
Gotcha. KOC, the Appalachian Mountains from the champ. FTT, thanks for Rockies, or Ireland from Florida. Super chat said, why can't we see when the sunlight is on all land masses at once?
Do you see what we deal with, bro? Do you hear? This is the actual questions we get, bro. You obviously can't see forever, bro. You have a limit of
I think you were just wrecked by a super chat.
angular resolution, observer height, atmospheric conditions.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat from Sigifredo Arabia in the house says, what's crazier, flat earth or veganism? Or can we have both?
Hey, we can have both, bro.
Are you a vegan, Witsit Gets It?
We don't have any prejudice over here. You're what? Oh, no, I'm not vegan, but you're
Gotcha. Okay.
welcome to come to the flat earth team, bro. We don't.
Okay. Next up, thanks for your super chat from, by the way, I'm telling you guys, vegans are tough to debate. Thanks for your super chat from, Elijah Freeman. Thanks for yours. Said, you, my guy, Witsit, where's the sphere edge, Mr. Vegan Gains?
The sphere edge. I don't know what he really means by that, but yeah, the horizon's roughly 3.5 miles out, depending. I think it's the true geometric horizon. It's somewhere around 3.5 miles out.
Dildo Baggins, always good. Gotcha. And CU says, Witsit needs things for your super chat from the thesaurus for some dressing on that word salad.
Yeah, they always say that, but I can't actually make you be able to use a decent vocabulary if you understand the words I'm using. They're offering substantive specificity to my points.
Next up, Tim Pryor, thanks for your super chat, said, and I have to call him out on lying. NASA never says CGI. They say Photoshop. Learn the difference. Photoshop is not CGI.
Yeah, CGI stands for computer generated image. Where'd they do the Photoshop at? On a computer. Okay.
Next up, thanks for your super chat from KO. They say, quote, why do you pick Champ FTT? He says, Witsit, when choose science, you believe in this. Why do you portion of science but not the next?
Nice vague comment, void of specificity there. I only stick with empirical verifiable means of evidence, by the way, ironically.
Thanks for your super chat. KO Champ FTT says, earlier light, less. Now there's light. What gives?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
They said earlier light, less. Now there's light. What gives?
Where did the light come from?
The sun. Dude, yeah, it's attenuation of light, man.
It just goes too far away for you to see it. It goes too far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? No,
The sun.
It's called attenuation. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for
Doesn't dip below the horizon. We've already established that.
Thanks for your super chat. Kika Obichi says, Witsit, what do you think about vegan flat earthers?
Indifferent.
I guess I'll give my opinion. You don't have to be smart to be a vegan. I don't even think you have to be a particularly good person to be a vegan. So you'll find vegans with a whole bunch of crazy beliefs.
Gotcha. And
This isn't a belief, but
Sleet, thanks for your super chat. This only works on Earth, but not. Says, for Witsit, why do you, when pointed at Jupiter, think spectrographic analysis of stars or the sun? It literally detects the emission and absorption bands of gas.
What? Okay, the question is, how does the gas pressure exist in the first place if the necessary antecedent to gas pressure is a physical container? It's non sequitur to the question.
Gotcha. Thanks so much. Oh, Dildo Baggins says he was kidding in his super chat. I can't remember what it was. I'm baffled. But Nessatron, thanks for your super chat, says, if the Earth is flat, why can't we see all the boats in the water, no matter how far, with a telescope?
Dude, yeah, come on, man. It's really not. The telescopes reach a limit of that complicated.
Thanks for your
Perspective, guys.
Okay, well, wait. I actually want to touch on that a little bit. So, if I had a drone, I could actually see the boat, see a boat at a further distance than somebody on the ground. How do you explain that?
Yeah, altitude, so you're able to see further the higher you get.
Yeah, because of the horizon. It obstructs. So if you go above the horizon obstruction, you can see more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so you admit the Earth is curved.
No, it's not a physical obstruction, my man. It's an apparent location.
Next up,
Yeah.
KO Champ FTT says light on all points should be able to see, right?
Attenuation.
His response to everything I say is, next up, Tim Pryor, thanks for cool story, bro. And your super chat says, I love how Bob was not misrepresented. Cool story, bro.
Yeah, they took out like a couple seconds of him speaking, talking about how the gyroscope constantly fluctuated. They had to mess with it. At one point, it showed 15 degrees. So yeah, that's misrepresenting.
You know what? I just thought of something. How do you explain solar eclipses when you say that light can only travel so far? It's kind of weird.
But yeah, there's still an extinction limit to light, and then we have phenomena in the sky where there's an obstruction of bodies occasionally, and you have to presuppose sphericity and solidity and obstruction.
Your super chat from KO. Gotcha. And thanks for Camp FTT says, sun on. Oh, did we just read that? I'm confused. No, Unicorn Laser Eyes says, thanks. They said, hello, Witsit. We are listening on 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0.
Oh, yeah. Shout out 24/7.
Gotcha. And KO Champ FTT says, sun on both. Why can't you see them with a telescope?
Perspective limit.
Gotcha. Thanks for your super chat. KO24 says, so to summarize all of Witsit Gets It answers, cool story and a complete misunderstanding, bro, CGI, conspiracy of light, and how perspective presuppose stuff work. Good job.
Yeah, actually, no, I just actually require you to substantiate your positive claim of specificity with empirical verifiability instead of pseudoscience and fairy tales brought to you by authoritative figures where you appeal to the authority of oppressors that lied to you. I would need some evidence, empirical verifiable evidence.
Thanks for your super chat. KO Champ FTT says perspective changes, so we shouldn't see your sun?
Yeah. Limit of perspective.
Gotcha. And Paul Gaithke, thanks for your super chat. Fire into the live chat if you'd like. Didn't see a question attached. I don't know if I need to read it for you. You can just, if it was just to support the channel, or if you have a question, put it in as a normal chat and I will read it. I want to say, both of the speakers are linked in the description, folks. So if you are like, I want to hear more, you can hear more by clicking below in the description box. And the phone guy, thanks for your super chat, said, Witsit Gets It, explain the 15-degree rotation per hour with the ring laser gyroscope that was proven by a flat earther multiple times.
Yeah, okay, again, it wasn't proven multiple times. I've talked to them personally. They had tons of issues with it. The actual manufacturer of said gyroscope admits this and knew it. They were trying to figure out what was wrong with it. In addition, that does not substantiate or correlate causality. Presupposed causality of derivation and effect. You just take the observable of the movement. That isn't how it works. Phenomena, the effect, and assume your science substantiates a correlation between causality and effect. A plethora, a variance of potential other explanations.
Gotcha. And so super TZ Tisman, thanks for your super chat. Said, what about SpaceX live streams?
Yeah, well, the one that Elon Musk said looks so fake, you know it's real. I don't appeal to authoritative figures, dude.
Thanks for your super chat from Tim Pryor, who says, does your phone have actual film in it? No, your phone computer generates the photo. So every photo on your
The composition of 4 months of
phone is fake? Cool story,
high altitude footage wrapped projection.
bro.
Yeah, that's nothing like it on a flat projection and wrapped around the ball, and then they bring an artist to do a rendition. I literally just quoted that verbatim off the NASA.gov website. Have fun with that, Glovers. You have fun.
Gotcha. And also, let's see here. Thanks for your. I think that might be the last question that we had. Yeah. So, Macroscope, thanks for subscribing. Just saw you subscribed, and also I think there were a couple other subscribers that just joined as I saw the green light flash. So I want to say thanks so much for being here, subscribing, folks. Hope you feel welcome, no matter what walk of life you're coming from, whether it be gay, straight, earther, or glober. We hope you feel Christian, atheist, welcome. So I want to say a huge thank vegan, non-vegan, flat thanks to our speakers, as it's honestly just a true pleasure to have them. The speakers are what make the channel fun. So we really do want to say thanks so much. They spent their time with us tonight. It's been a true pleasure to have both of you, Vegan Gains and Wits It Gets It.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So with that, folks, keep sifting out the reasonable from the unreasonable. Take care and have a great rest of your Memorial Day. We are off air. Thanks so much, guys. It's been a true pleasure.
Yeah, no problem.
A lot of fun. And yes, I will, for real, I'll run it by Matt Dillahunty and just kind of see if
And tell him, like,
he's up for it. I don't know. I don't think he's going
I know I have a reputation, like,
to.
and I mean, like, tell him that I'm polite and everything, and, you know, I'm cool in debates. I know he's going to use the excuse that I'm too rude or something.
Yeah.
When he was the one being rude to me when I first called into the atheist experience, but
I've always found you to be very easygoing and, like I said, authentic or sincere, which is just makes for a great conversation person. So yeah, I definitely will. I just asked him about another debate, so I'll do it in like a little time. I usually try to space them out, but yeah, thanks so much, man. Let me know if you'd like hopefully your stream worked. If you didn't, I can give either of you or both of you guys a copy of this debate that
it's all good.
you can put on your own channel whenever you want. So
yeah. If there's some horrible issue or my stream's working fine, so something, then sure, I'll take you up on the offer.
You got it. Cool. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great night.
All right, you too.
Yeah. Much love.
Take care. Okay, so let me just set up my face here. Okay, that's not working now. That's really weird. Do I have... Let me add my webcam then, I guess. Video capture device. So I have to... Oh, there we go. Add another video capture device for now. I don't know... whatever. Reason... Just give me a minute. Sure, why not? Okay. Okay, so now I will just read off some of the Streamlabs donations. Jake donated $5, said, would you defend the claims made on the Game Changers against BioLane on Joe Rogan? I'd love to see you promote veganism on his platform. I'd be more than happy to go on the Joe Rogan Experience, dude. I'd debate Lane Norton on that. So yeah, it's just that Joe Rogan knows of me. He's actually responded to some videos I've made about him on Twitter. It's just that thing. But I'd be more than happy to... I don't know, maybe I'm not a big enough of it to go on. It's just that Joe has to invite... Deal for him to have me on or something. Invite me on. But thanks for the donation, Jake. Ryan donated $5. He said, Frank Tufano and Sverage have proven the Earth is flat. You need more nutrients. Yeah?
Can you put chat on normal mode? And also, did that test donation go through for you with the voice chat?
I didn't hear anything.
Could you make sure it works? Because I don't know if it's going through.
Sure. Give me a second.
Because I reset the text-to-speech to be vocal now, but I don't know if it's going
Sure.
through OBS right now.
Yeah, it's not. I think the link might have changed. Let me just add that in.
Do you need more water?
Here we go. Alert box. Still not doing it. Why the fuck? That's a little weird. Wait, give me a second. Control audio via OBS. There we go. I'll just turn it off for now.
This is a test donation for $15.
Do you want more water?
No, I'm good. Okay, let's go back to the donations. Yeah, so Frank Tefano and Sverge. I don't think Frank Tefano has gotten to the point where he believes the Earth is flat, about 5G, and but he's getting there. He's coming very freaking... New World Order and crap, I'm close. All the crap he's posting, I'm sure he'll get there eventually. But yeah, I've wanted to debate Sverige on Flat Earth, but he's declined. Like, he won't respond back to me. But thanks for the donation, Ryan. Like, holy crap. If you go back and watch my video on Sverige, the Super Sheep, it's bizarre. It's an especially strange argument for him to make, like, since magnets exist. But, thanks for the donation, Ryan.
You there. The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing Frank Tefano menace. What do you say?
Hey, I'd be more than bored. So, yeah, happy to take up arms just against the Frank Tefano. Yeah, give me a shout. I'll get my, suit of armor on and my halberd, and I'll ride into battle. But thanks for the donation, Nightingale. George Fruit donated $5. He says, TMAO isn't a risk factor for heart disease, then what is? Oh, and by the way, hi, Mom. Yeah, so it was long suspected that TMAO was a risk factor for heart disease. There were a bunch of, prospective studies done that showed it did actually, it was correlated to heart disease risk. What they did, though, was they set up, Mendelian, what do you call it? Why can't I minimization studies? And what they figure out the word, or remember, found was, based on genetic risk, that genetically high levels of TMAO, it doesn't actually correlate to heart disease. So that pretty much debunks the idea that TMAO is a risk factor for heart disease. But cholesterol still is. If you look at Mendelian randomization studies on cholesterol, again, there's a direct log linear association with cholesterol and heart disease risk. But thanks for the donation, George Fruit. Ja Rastafari donated $6. He says, have you directly worked with satellites them in either a GIS site imagery such as software or for remote sensing? Sentinel-2's images and utility purposes. My career is in this field of analysis. Let me check that out. That is actually pretty friggin' interesting. Yeah, again, if we were living on a flat Earth, I don't understand how satellites would work. Again, there's millions of people that are involved in all of these fields. If gravity didn't exist, if there was no Earth orbit, if the Earth was flat, like, all of the people working in all of these different professions that rely on satellites, are you saying these millions and millions of people, like, they're bizarre? But they're all just part of this. Thanks for the donation, Ja Rastaf. Weird conspiracy. It's totally far. I appreciate it. Lo-Fi donated $2. He asks, why do you think it is that reasonably intelligent people buy into this stuff? This guy is obviously not an idiot despite his irrational stance. I don't know if I'd go that far. Yeah, the table coin disappearing trick, That was pretty downright R-word territory. But yeah, I mean, what I think it is, I think there's two basic classes of flat earthers. I think one class believe everything they're told. You know, they're just beyond stupid, essentially, and they kind of because like they don't have any ability to use critical thinking, and they see like with their eyes the Earth looks flat, and then they hear online that, oh, the Earth is flat. Oh, well, the Earth must be flat. Then I think a more common type of flat earther is the person that probably is unsatisfied with their life, maybe isn't happy with where their career is going, and I don't know, they just want there to be some interesting conspiracy theory to latch on to so that they can think they're smarter than everyone else, that they uncovered some sort of like conspiracy of like research and technology. Now, because they know of this conspiracy and uncovering all the mysteries of the world, see, they're on the bleeding edge of the world, and maybe their life is even in danger by just sharing this information. I think that's probably the category that this guy falls into. So yeah, but thanks for the donation, Lo-Fi. eMonk donated $2. He says, if there is no vacuum in space and attenuation is present throughout the entire way, how are we able to get fairly good images of Mars through telescopes from our standing perspective, but not distances that far on Earth? Yeah, that's a very, there's no explanation of a very good point. Other than the NASA created the telescopes, and they put some sort of, I don't know, CGI inside the telescope. None of it makes any fucking sense. So yeah, if he's going to claim that, you know, that Earth's atmosphere makes it so light can't travel far enough to see the sun once it moves too far away, then I don't think there's any way for you to explain how we can see planets and stars and shit like that. So yeah, again, Flat Earth fucking debunked. It wasn't that difficult, was it? But thanks for that donation, eMonk. Appreciate it. I love how, like, the end of the debate was fucking amazing. Okay, just an endless series of super so that looks like it's chats just wrecking him. It was for the super chats. I hope you guys enjoyed this debate as much as I did. You might have noticed that I was laughing and smiling a lot more than I normally do. I thought that was fucking fun, just debating a flat earther. Shellcode PT donated $2.18. He says, because of light attenuation in a flat earth, shouldn't a drone above my head see less of a boat than me? The hypotenuse is longer than the cathetus, so my direct line to the boat would let me see more than a higher drone. He admitted otherwise. Oops. Yeah, I mean, it's too much to even keep up with in a day. There's so many things to debate. I should have mentioned this, but things wrong with it that, like, it's holy crap. From top to bottom, all of these ideas are just beyond fucking stupid. So, yeah, I mean, again, good point. You should be able to see more if you're on the ground than up in the air, but that's not how it works. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, the fact that the sun dips below the horizon line, I think should tell you enough. But then he claims that, oh no, if you use a special lens, you can still see the sun, like, even if it goes below the horizon line. I don't fucking know where the... alright, so he gets these ideas, but that looks like it's it. Again, thanks for the donation again, Shellcode. If you guys enjoyed the debate, big thanks to everyone who donated in Streamlabs. I think what I'm going to do now, since it's not too late, I think I'm just going to do another stream, maybe stream some video games. So if you guys stick around, you can watch me play some games. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Take care. And as always, keep making those vegan gains. Bruce Lee donated $2 to his phone. It's giving me OCD. Please pop your ear. All right. Well, either in or out of the head. There you go. Okay, but thanks for the donation. Now I just have to wait a little longer to make sure I don't cut off the stream too late.